Ladies and gentlemen, filmmakers and moviegoers alike, welcome to Correctly Casual. I'm your host, Srekcuf5, and joining me, as always, is the amazing Dorky Dev. Well, what's up, Dev?
What up?
Damn it, if I didn't already make the schedule, I would have made a change for next month, just based off that opening line there. Damn. Too late. Oh well. Hi, Dev.
Up?
Anything you want to say or talk about before we start talking about today's movies at all?
No, not really.
No? All right. Sweet. In that case, let's just get on in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're going to end our holiday season and or 'tis the season month, and with in our holiday movies with this week, which I have so cleverly called Willis, He Saved Them.
Jesus Christ, Steven. Like, my God. Holy shit.
That's not a stretch at all. It's a perfect title.
God, that was bad. Oh, man.
But I have to end 2020. It's the last show of 2020.
I know, but
so I have to have the
man.
worst title possible.
That was just... Damn, man.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Willis, He Saved
Them. Some
Them.
bad fucking titles, but my God. That was taking the cake for the year right there.
You're welcome. Everybody is welcome for this blessing that I have bestowed upon you.
That's what we're calling that.
It's my gift to the public. The worst podcast title ever. All right, so yeah, we're talking about Die Hard and Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
I love the Die Hard movies titles, by the way.
Like, it's so ridiculous.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. It's fucking perfect. Die Harder. Die Harder.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever thought of that is fucking brilliant, because that is fucking awesome.
It's a thing. I mean, especially when they get to the later movies too. Like, It's a Good Day to Die Hard.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Mm.
Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah, like, come on.
Do we know what the sixth is supposed to be called yet? Or have they haven't revealed that yet,
I don't
right?
think they've revealed it yet, no. I heard something like they're also making a TV show called McClane.
Do we need that?
No idea.
And I'll answer your question. No, we don't.
There is no originality anymore, Dev. We have to.
There is originality. Shut the fuck up. You know this is that.
I know. I'm fucking with you. Like I always do. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's start talking about today's movies. First movie today, Die Hard. All that fun stuff. Good movie.
Good times.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Die Hard. Where to start? Like, honestly, I was watching this movie, and like, I just put my notes away. There was really absolutely no reason for me to write anything down at all while watching this movie.
How can you be critical of this movie? This movie is a fucking gem. By the way, this movie puts so much on the table and uses everything it sets up.
Oh, absolutely.
I noticed that this run through. The photo, the shoes, every little thing.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, it has a purpose.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, that's actually some good fucking film writing right there.
Absolutely. That was one of the things I wanted to praise the most about it too, was because of the small things, like the glass being a key component to like a part of the tension and the pacing of the movie, and like all that's going on. Like, think of modern action movies. You wouldn't think, oh man, this glass is gonna be a real problem for me. But because the scale and scope that we always get into with modern action movies, it's never just one building.
Yeah, but depends on the action film you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could see John Wick having that issue, but Iron Man not.
No.
You know, it's the scale of which we're dealing with. Superhero action isn't going to have that issue. But my God, this movie just like, it holds up for being released on July 20th, 1988 with a budget of $28 million. It really did earn that opening US weekend of 600,000, gross US 83 million, and cumulative worldwide gross at 141 million. It really earned all of that. Was that natural enough for you?
As natural as an 8th grade presentation.
And listen, I felt the transition was smooth, but having to present all the information quickly while scrolling.
Like, yeah, it was a good segue into it. I'll give you that. But then you're like,
all right, cool. As long as the segue is strong, that's what matters.
Yeah, as long as it felt cohesive, we told a good story along the way.
Yeah,
just like Die
this
Hard.
movie fucking does.
Yeah.
Like, my God, I forgot how good this movie is. Like,
I
shit.
100% enjoyed watching this movie. Like, I'll be honest, when I think back to action stars, I don't think of Bruce Willis as an action star, but he 100% was one. And this is a reason why. Like,
yeah,
Die Hard.
100%.
Absolutely. And I think back, I was like, we've seen a bunch of Bruce Willis movies where he's, a badass, but, it never correlated to me that he was an action star. I don't know why.
It's because at least in the younger years, you can, no offense to Bruce Willis, but after a certain point, he does occasionally phone it in for the paycheck. Not critiquing him for it, because once you hit that point where you can do that, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna judge. If people are just paying you to be in the movie, and they're not asking you to act like crazy hard, go for it. If it's not a movie you're hugely invested in, I could care less. I.e., look at what is it? Glass?
Yeah, Glass. Kinda, yeah.
He didn't really have to care.
Mm-hmm. But he's super strong.
Yeah, but he can still get fucking drowned.
It's because he's so dense.
Whatever.
It's fucking with you, yeah. But yeah, watching this movie.
I got that movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Glass.
Hatred filling.
But yeah, back on this movie, it's filled with an amazing cast full of people that do such a good job of just making the story entertaining and captivating, and it just works so well. Like I said earlier about like the small, like you said earlier about the small details and things that all just work together and just fit perfectly.
Right?
It's a well thought out action piece, like an action movie. But here's the big debate for you, Dev.
Are you gonna ask me if it's a Christmas movie?
Yes, I am.
It's a fucking Christmas. This solidifies it as a Christmas movie. This watch, because I went in there with a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dad trying to get his family back.
Are you sure that's Christmas, or is that a setting?
How many
Christmas?
fucking Christmas movies? Then the Santa Claus isn't a Christmas movie.
You're not wrong. We'll watch it next
This
year.
shares a lot of similarities to it. With me and so and so aren't together anymore. He's the dad from all those movies who's just not there enough for the kids anymore. This is a fucking Christmas movie. Half of fucking Christmas movies do this shit. This is a Christmas movie. This year solidified it for me. 100%. It takes place in Christmas. It's about getting my family back. It's about like being the hero of the day. How many fucking Christmas movies have all of that in there?
Most of them. You sure it's not just a movie that takes place on Christmas?
Shut up. I hate that debate.
Gotta bring it up. We're on the internet. We have to talk it at least a little bit. So yeah, there you go. That's our stance. It's at least Dev's stances. It's okay. That's critically casual stance. This is a Christmas movie. And that's why we showed it right after Christmas and not before.
We also just wanted an excuse to watch it this month.
Kinda. We needed something different. After all this holiday cheer, especially with, the car chases and Christmas Chronicles. That was so holiday cheerful.
God, can we not revisit those? They were not great. I just don't want to deal with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, let's talk about other things in this movie. Let's see. Obviously, Bruce Willis being the main actor is good. Let's talk about, our main antagonist, Alan Rickman, Mr. Hans Gruber.
Dude, this is just another one of those things that just proved how fucking fantastic Alan Rickman was as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he did such a great job.
Oh, I know. It's just he's so good. We gotta watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves at some point because he's the sheriff of Nottingham in that, and it's fantastic. I will carve your eyes out with a spoon. Is one of the lines, and I'm like, I love it. we gotta do that at some point. But he's just so good.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He is a very intimidating powerhouse, especially with his accent changing. Such a great, convincing accent change.
I mean, listen, he didn't know he was going to be put on the spot. I do appreciate that. Like, you could tell that Bruce Willis's character, you can see that John McClane puts it together pretty quick. What's going on? Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that scene because it's just like you see like both of them trying to outmaneuver the other just to prove their selves to the other without like proving themselves to the other. Mm-hmm. Here, you're gonna need the gun.
Oh, thanks. Perfect. Yeah. No weapon. Yeah, absolutely. It's just this movie has scene after scene after scene of great moments where it's just tension and goodness. I think, however, my favorite part would probably have to be... No, I can't even limit it. It's just all very good.
I mean, we wouldn't have had such the iconic line of "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker."
Yeah.
As you said. Yippee. Oh, I gotta get Alan Rickman. Hold on. I can't do an Alan Rickman. It's too hard. He's got a really unique voice. Like, if you have to practice an Alan Rickman to have an Alan Rickman. I've never practiced an Alan Rickman to have the Alan Rickman in my vocabulary of voices.
So give it a little. Tell me to turn the page the 384. I don't
Turn the page to 344. It's not like distinct enough. It's a start, but it's not where it needs to be.
Mm, at least you started. Day one of practice. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Harry Potter. That's not even close.
No, that's worse.
See, I've seen this discussion on multiple other podcasts when they do movies with Alan Rickman. It's always like, how did it get worse? It always gets worse, and now I'm part of the chain.
Look what you've done to yourself. Oh, you're a meme.
I'm part of the problem. Harry Potter.
All right, let's stop.
Okay. God, he's so good in this, though.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, he is. I would not say there was a weak link in this movie. Like,
no, dude.
Even the people who are like just obvious small parts, barely say a line, they really pull it all together. Just like the crowd of people sitting
Johnson
there.
And Johnson, they do a good job. Oh, yeah. I love Johnson and Johnson. This is Agent Johnson. This is also Hi, Agent Johnson. This is Agent Johnson. No relation. And I like there's a throwaway line that like one of them calls back to high school. And I was like, God damn it, you idiot. Which means these two fuckers have been friends since high school as the Johnson and Johnson duo. Like, that is, it's a complete throwaway line. But that's great character building for a relationship, a throwaway relationship that doesn't matter to anything else. That is world building. That's character building for side characters that don't really matter too much. But it's a fun little like, oh, hey, so these guys just know each other for a while. Like these guys have a really they have a bond together and everything. It's great.
Absolutely,
that is so good.
Nothing
is throwaway.
Yeah. It all feels planned and strategic. Like, I don't know. How much can we, sing praises to this movie before we start saying the same things over and over again?
I don't know, because it's just, the action is really good, too. It's intense.
That's one thing I definitely miss. Watching this movie and the next movie is I really miss the practical action that they used to have in movies. I don't miss the accidents and the hospitalizations that used to happen. To those stunt doubles and everything, but the effect that you get on screen watching, actual things explode and fall apart and burst into flames is really cool.
Oh, it's great. It just adds such an intensity to it.
Mm-hmm. It's real. It feels real. Everyone can react to it, and it looks more organic, I guess, because it is organic. It is real.
Yeah, you know me. I'm a sucker for practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
I always have been. I'm also a sucker for good CGI effects too, though. So I appreciate both forms because there's a lot of work that goes into both. Don't get me wrong, but practical action, fights and stuff like that, just feel good. This movie has a lot of good moments with that. A lot of the close-up action scenes. Also, it has one of my greatest fake falls. One of my favorite green screen falls ever.
Mm-hmm.
I won't reveal when it is. If you haven't seen Die Hard, I will not spoil it for you. You need to see Die Hard.
If you haven't seen this 32-year-old movie, you need to
What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
Older than that, I think. Actually, did I do my math right? It doesn't matter.
It's a little over 32. You're right on years. It's not quite 31 years old yet, or 33 years old yet.
Mm-hmm. All right, watch this damn film.
Yeah, seriously, it's just a fucking blast. There's just so much to it that just nothing is throwaway, and it's just rewatching it with a little bit because. Not that I am the casual, but I do have a slight critical eye for things. I have to because of this show.
You don't have
to. Well, I do in the sense that I know you have to.
But you do, on the other hand, I don't get upset with the conversation.
Well, I do in the sense that I'm going to naturally because we dissect movies now. Mm-hmm. So upon this because I haven't seen it since I haven't watched Die Hard honestly for a while. I don't think I watched it since we started doing the show. So at least since before Vegas. I don't think I watched it while I was in Vegas before then. So it's been a little bit. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It just 100% holds up. It's just really good. That's all I got. That's what I got, man.
Absolutely. Especially too, I think one of my favorite things about this too is our main female, Holly, his wife, Holly McClane. She is not the average damsel in distress in these films, especially during this time period. Don't get me wrong, she's definitely not the savior in any means, but she's not just sitting there oh, woe is me. She's thinking and she's calculating and trying to figure out her way throughout the night. So.
Yeah, and she's trying to help John as best she can and stuff like that. It's good. It's good writing. Everyone feels real. It's just such a good fucking movie. Watch this fucking movie.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, Dev, I'm gonna give you your popcorn kernels.
Okay.
How many are you gonna give out of 10 to Die Hard?
Honestly, and you may hate me for this, but 9.5.
Okay. I was about to say, don't say 10. I don't hate you for it.
I think that's my only 9.5 of the year, by the way. I've either given it a 9 or a 9 or a 10. I don't think I've ever done anything in the middle this year from what it looks like. So that is my first 9.5 of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And what a movie to give it to.
For me, I give this movie a 9.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good film. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's well thought out. It's very well put together. It's very practically shot. It's good.
Hell yeah, dude. It's just a good movie.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's move on. We're going to start talking about our second movie here. I mean, unless there's anyone in chat who has any questions. Anybody? No? All right. We're moving on.
Fair.
All right. So let's start talking about movie number 2 here. Die Hard 2, Die Harder. Which I love this poster because it says Die Harder, Die Hard 2.
Yeah. Some of the posters are pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This movie here, Die Hard 2, Die Harder. This one, it's just, to me, isn't as good.
I can agree, but it doesn't miss the mark by much. I think its problem is it feels a little long.
Kind of, yeah. Like, for me, the whole problem is it doesn't feel as cohesive as a whole movie. Like, in the in the first movie, it all feels like it happens naturally, where this happens and this happens, this happens, this happens. In this movie, it kind of feels like our main character, John, is just like, you know what? I'm John McClane. I'm the best there ever was. And it's all about him reaffirming it's not really, but if you want to take it in a cynical way, it's about him being like, hey, I'm the best cop there ever was. And it's him trying to be like, yeah, I'm the best cop. Watch as I do this stuff without your permission to prove that I could save the world. And constantly they're like, we don't need your help. And then he does something and they're like, oh, I need your help. Come on. And then
they're like, we don't need your help anymore.
Yeah. And then he does something like, oh, we need your help. So
I agree with that. It's a little repetitive in that sense. Very much so. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, we know he knows how to do this. He knows how to help. Just stop.
Yeah.
We get it. Just let him be a part of the conversations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, we do it. Okay. All right. Oh, we did. Oh, no. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And plus it's kind of the scale too, because they make...
Oh my God, the scale goes up.
Yeah, because they make references about how he's like, oh, I'm Christmas and here I am clawing through a tin can. Yet in the first movie, he was crawling through the air ducts and like the electronics and stuff of a skyscraper. In this movie, he's running through a massive airport, which is probably a lot larger than the skyscraper. So it just feels less like, I guess, anxiety inducing and like stressful.
The anxiety is all from the essential timer that they give the movie.
Yes. And to me, that was such a needed timer because I've kind of learned quite a bit about planes lately.
And we both listen to the same podcast called Black Box Down.
Exactly. So we
aren't promoted by them, but it's a good podcast if you want to listen to something fun about aviation.
Mm-hmm. Unfun things about aviation.
Well, and if you want to learn like fun facts about aviation, is the best way to put it. It talks about like aviation incidences and how the aviation industry has learned from those incidents.
Yeah,
because pointing out, flying is the safest form of travel.
Absolutely.
And I miss flying. It's been over a year.
Going on a quick side tangent. I was talking with my mom on holidays, and she's like, yeah, for New Year's, I'm going to go travel back home, like back to Arizona, back to Kingman, to go visit friends and stuff. And I was like, you work as a nurse in a hospital that does dialysis on COVID patients. How are you not afraid to go out on a plane to go visit somebody? And she's like, oh, I bring all the PPE. She's like, yeah, I have the shields. And like, she apparently stole a shit ton of stuff from work. And she's like, yep, I'm going to be basically in a hazmat suit in that plane.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
God, I can't wait for a fucking vaccine. Okay, by the way, wait for us to timestamp this. For future us, hi. If you haven't ever go back and listen to these, be like, oh, what we rated Die Hard and Die Hard 2, or what we said about it. Just to refresh our memory. Hi, remember it was in 2020 when the world was on fire.
My world's on fire. How about
yours? That's the way I like it, but I'll never get bored. But yeah, no. So another thing to point out too, when all the planes land, I'm really confused on how they all got there.
Oh yeah, like
because of my brain going back to black box. I'm like, how did they know? Where did the fire? How did they? Questions.
Doesn't quite make sense. I mean, it does. It doesn't.
It doesn't. The end of this movie doesn't make sense with the pan out shot because there are multiple planes like together, and I'm like, no, no, what?
No.
The fuck?
So yeah, like this movie feels a little more spectacle, less genuine.
Yeah,
like a good.
It definitely feels like it came out in 1990 on July 3rd.
With how much of a budget?
Oh, with a $70 million budget. A lot more than the last one.
Oh yeah, that's why they actually got to blow up a fucking plane.
Yeah, awesome. It made $21 million on the opening weekend in the U.S. $117 million U.S. gross with $240 million worldwide, which is that's over 3 times the budget. So, our rule of 3. They definitely blew that away. I mean, the other one made like an exponentially like percentage more money than this one did compared to the budget because like the last one was only 28 million, made 14.
But this movie made 14,
140 million. Yeah, so it had more of a budget, but it still made double the revenue that the last one made.
Okay,
not quite double. It's like 40 million short of double the last movie. So
saying that thing about the plane blowing up made me think about this too. My second biggest complaint. This man got plot armor, man. Like,
dude, this starts the John McCain plot armor. I can't wait till we do the other ones.
Oh God.
Because man, this series was Fast and Furious before Fast and Furious. You act like Fast and Furious is in its own little bubble. No, there are many Fast and Furiouses. It's just Fast and Furious is the biggest.
Yeah. They get the most extreme. I'm just kidding. They don't really.
Motherfucker, we've seen the trailer, right?
I mean, yes. But still, I'm also like, the next thing, when I think of outrageous movies, I think of Fast and Furious. Yeah. I think of Deep Blue Sea. Think of Sharknado.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you made me watch that one.
And there's 8 of those movies.
God, no. Oh, no.
We're not going to watch all of them.
Thank God. I can't. The first one I was just so miserable watching that. It was just like, oh, can we actually get done with the movie? There's still an hour.
See, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have like a rating night where we go through all 8 movies in 1 week, and
oh no, I had an idea. I'm gonna shut my mouth.
Yeah, don't think about it.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to you later about it.
All right.
Oh, that was a dumb idea. Oh no.
But back onto this movie. Things that I enjoy. Still quite a bit.
Like, yeah, no, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I love, once again, the best part about this whole film to me was the practicality behind the stunts and the scenes. Like, the fact that they basically literally blew up an airport. I mean, at least a construction of a really good model of an airport. And then, an actual plane. And those aren't tiny planes either. So...
they definitely went up.
And then plus they actually used planes to land through a giant plume of smoke and fire because the super cool effects that the smoke's made, and it's like, wow, that could potentially do damage. I mean, it won't, but like, that's high risk for a movie.
Yeah. No, I'm genuinely surprised with how well these two movies are actually made for being as old as they are. Because like we think of 80s, 90s action kind of being like, man, that era was just dumb. And like this one's a little dumber than the first one. I will say that in the sense of just like some of the dumb things it does. But like, I think I would way rather watch like Die Hard over Lethal Weapon. We haven't done the Lethal Weapons yet, but like I remember watching both of those a lot growing up. Both these series. And like, especially upon rewatching this, I'm like, I think I would put Die Hard above Lethal Weapon, like to my memory. I haven't watched Lethal Weapon in a while, so I could be wrong. But like, genuinely, like these two aren't bad movies. Like they're really enjoyable action flicks. This one I think has some better choreographed fights. The fight inside the baggage area is pretty good. The fight when they're going to the tower, I think is really good. As silly as part of it is, I think my biggest complaint is there's a lot of people who should know how to shoot better than they do.
I agree. Like, literally, there's a moment where he's laying on the floor in the middle of an open room, and there's like
and
four.
He just
spins. Yeah. One slow roll this way, one slow roll that way. None of you can shoot me. Yeah. It's like 4 or 5 people are shooting at him.
I'm just like, oh yeah, that's in this fucking movie.
That's part of the plot armor shit. Like, I was like, okay. And the second moment, yeah.
Shoot.
And it wasn't even like a fast spin either. It was like one of those like flops where a fish. Like, oh God.
God, it's so dumb. I love it though. It's I saw that and I'm just like, oh yeah, that fucking happened in this movie.
And then there's the ejector seat moment. Like,
oh my
God. Like, this movie just like, let's do some stupid shit, man.
We have more of a budget. Up the stupid.
Yeah.
And you know what? Perfect. Fine. Fucking do it. You might get a lower rating, but you're going to have a more fun rating. I will say that. Because, like, not that the last one wasn't fun. This one's just stupid fun from time to time, though. There's a fight on the wing of an airplane going down the fucking tarmac. There's, like, Duke is thrown into the fucking engine. And the engine's fine, by the way. Just fucking ate a person.
Okay.
Again, to call back to fucking... Black Box Down. They just did the. They just talked about the Sully plane. That landing on the Hudson. Which, like, yeah, maybe you could take one large thing. Maybe those engines aren't made to take stuff like that all the time, though. Especially on takeoff. That would really mess up the takeoff of a plane because you won't be able to get as much power to lift off. So
I was just thinking about just how long it took that plane to take off in general. Like, they're like, all right, we got to stop them before they take off. 5 minutes later. I've got you.
We got to assume that he probably went to different, started turning and stuff like that.
I guess
right?
we can assume he did, but there's no other lit up runways. I mean, he wasn't on a lit up one anyways, but whatever.
No, he wasn't. He was taking off of one that wasn't, which, again, highly dangerous. It's just like, I will say it's better than when we do eventually review the airport scene in Fast and Furious. You're gonna be infuriated if this pissed you off a little bit. I'm sorry.
We just one of these days we're gonna do like vehicle month, where it's like this week we're doing car movies. This month we're doing plane movies. This week we're doing boat movies.
I'm cool with that. We can do cars, planes,
And
boats and
automobiles.
trains. Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yeah.
God, that's a great movie. And then we need to do a second one for when we do. We can do the car weeks are already decided then for these two, right? We got to do the next 3 Fast and Furiouses, and then the next time the Fast and Furious movie comes out, that's when we do it again.
At some point, we'll have to do like Speed and Speed 2 and
For
maybe
Bus?
Speed 3. Yeah. Bus. What was it? I think it was Bus. Then it was Cruise Ship. And then I think it was Train, but I'm not sure.
There's a Speed 3.
I think there's a Speed 3. I can't remember.
I only thought there was 2.
Let me double check. Speed 3. Yeah. Kinda? Comes out next year?
Wait, what? What?
It was announced last year or in 2019, so it's probably been pushed back. But Speed 3 Flight Risk. So it's planes.
Is Sandra Bullock attached to this?
Yeah. Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock.
Wait, Keanu's back?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't in 2?
According to this, yes. So
Oh my god!
are you gonna be okay?
You just delivered some fucking news to me. When's this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be out before Fast and Furious?
Let me double check. Oh shit.
Oh wait, I have our fucking list thing that I normally use.
Yeah, no worries.
Available too. My bad. So Fast 9 is May 28th. When is Speed 3? Oh, it's definitely not. Huh. We might have to, we might need to hit the
Dude, literally, I'm reading this right now. This article came out 3 weeks ago where it's like, Keanu Reeves coming back for Speed 3.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fucking great. Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. We have plans for the future. We're really good at this, coming up with the show ideas right on the show.
We really fucking do this every time, don't we? We fucking
we
suck. I hate us.
So yes,
Fuck.
let's try to focus back on Die Hard.
Yeah, focus back on the Die Harder. All right. I think so. My one problem with this cast, I think, is that the military guys, I think, are too easy to read what's actually going on with them.
I think. You mean the helpful military guys or the not so helpful military guy? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Okay, yeah, I guess. Because let me rephrase that again. Do you mean the military guys we meet in the beginning of the movie, or the military guys that get called in later on in the film?
Both.
Okay. Like, I actually thought part of that was kind of interesting, but the way they also kind of they put a little bit too much into the whole, like, hey, do you notice how this is a different color? Like,
Yeah. And then if you pay attention, you notice the color on the other things too.
mm-hmm.
Which I think is good. It may also just be because I've watched this a lot of times.
Okay.
Like, I will say there is potentially the bias of I've seen Die Harder a shitload of times growing
That's the
up.
funniest movie name.
I mean, it does have one. I don't know. Die Hard with a Vengeance and Live Free or Die Hard are both pretty good. In funniness factor. I don't know. It's tough to say, honestly. It might just be my like the fact that I've seen this so many times. That may be a factor in it. Just genuinely, it just may be that. Because, like, again, I've seen this movie a lot growing up. Because it was on AMC a lot, and my mom would just put on AMC sometimes.
See, now what I want...
And TNT and TBS. It's on a lot of channels sometimes.
See, now what I want is Bruce Willis to be in a Star Trek movie, and then it'll be called Perhaps Today is a Good Day to Die Harder.
I hate you.
You know I'm right. It'd be all right.
Do I?
No, I keep getting I'm getting distracted. Do we want to move on to
You
spoilers?
are way worse than me
Yeah,
today.
I am.
It's kind of impressive.
Is there anything else you want to talk about non-spoiler related before we kind of get into both of them? I think.
Yeah, we'll hit up both of them without a doubt. No, I'll give you your popcorn.
All right. So for me, like I said, there's the couple of things that weren't quite right for me. Still being a good movie, I don't say that. I'm not saying that it's a bad movie, but I'm gonna give this one a kind of significantly lower rating of 7.5.
Oh wow. I'm giving it an 8.5, so that puts it at an 8 overall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like,
I'm not going to disagree fully with you.
Mhm.
I'll allow it.
Like it's almost an 8, but not quite an 8. So I'm gonna round down this time instead of round up, because I'm an awful critic.
Fair enough.
Ooh, feel my waff. As I wait, one of the best movies out there with a 7.5. Ooh.
I mean, I give it a higher score than most things. Metacritic looks like it's at a 67 and IMDb at a 7.2. So
I was about to say, that
you're
should be
about
in the
average.
C. So, all right.
Yeah. We also give Die Hard like way higher than what it has on here too, like 8.2 and a 72 on Metacritic. So, hey, we like these movies better than other people do. So
There you go. All right. So I only made a spoiler screen for Die Hard 2.
Get ready to spoiler!
But we're going to talk about both and kind of compare the two.
I'm fine with that. I'm gonna let you talk a little bit more. I'm working on one thing for the after part. Just know it's worth it, okay? I'm gonna let you talk a little bit more this time because I do talk a lot. So
I'm being completely honest. Talking about the two movies and comparing them honestly, they are both really good movies. One is just a show of what you can do with a lot more budget, while the other one is a show of you don't need a big budget to make a good suspenseful action film. Like, don't get me wrong, Die Hard didn't have a small budget either, but it wasn't as monumental as the second movie. And these tell completely different stories, but are both like essentially the same thing at the same time. Like, it's hard to explain sometimes, but well, it's not. If I was better with my English, I could explain to you why things were good. Yes.
I mean, I believe it. I believe it.
But like the main reason why I really enjoy the first movie is it does a lot of that like suspenseful tension. It's really well thought out. It plans everything and ahead of time, but it doesn't feel like outrageous. Like a man who's sitting there on a plane being like, I take my shoes and socks off when I'm on a plane because I like to feel the carpet between my toes when I get to the airport because it makes me be like, land.
No, he takes it off after he gets to where he's staying because it helps him relax. That was his thing on the first one. Yeah. Which, I mean, hey, if it helps you relax after flying, like flying can be tense even for experienced flyers.
Mm-hmm. So that might feel out of place, but it didn't. It really didn't. It felt like just somebody living in the world, honestly. And second, with
someone who overshares a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is definitely somebody that you'll find when you're riding on a plane.
100%, man. 100%. That has happened on flights.
I was one of those people once on a flight, actually. Like
you are my nightmare. I am the guy who goes onto the airport plane, headphones on, and I am disconnected from the world and either falling asleep or either playing a game or like just listening to a podcast or music. Like that is where I am on the plane.
That's me most of the time nowadays. But there was one time when I was, I think, visiting my dad when I was younger, and I was like, "Hey, pretty girl sitting next to me, I'm talking to
Oh.
you. You want to see these magic tricks that I just learned?"
Did you fuck him up?
One of them, yes.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Always the charismatic one.
Things failed miserably. Look at me now. Look at where did my charisma lead me? No way. All right. But when it comes to Die Hard 2, going back into my conversation about comparing the two, you know, back about 5 minutes before the tangent started. This movie, it doesn't do like the same. We're tight in a tight area. We're in a tense spot. Like, it has a lot more comic relief. It goes a lot bigger with the scale of its action and what it does, but it also isn't bad in what it plans out. Like, it's not as well thought out, I feel like, as tell him not to wear shoes and then end up having to walk on glass and having to sit there repairing his feet while other people plan and like break it. Like, it's not well paced out like that, but we still get like, hey, they've done this thing. We don't know what to do. The tension's building up because there's all these people who are going to die if we don't get things figured out. And I feel like that's part of the reason why this is called Die Harder, because it's just the scale of the amount of people that die is a lot bigger. So
I can agree to that.
Mm-hmm. What's going to happen is the last movie is going to be called Die Hardest, I think.
I'm really hoping for that. I thought of that today because I was typing out Die Harder for the Instagram post and it accidentally did Die Hardest. And I'm like, that's 100% like the next one or the one after that if they do 7. Mm-hmm. Like 100%. One of them is going to be Die Hardest.
Yeah.
That is officially when they've given up and that is the last movie.
Exactly. And then that's when they go most outrageous. Like, we have to...
wait till we get to Live Free or Die Hard.
Does it involve nuclear missiles?
No, it involves jumping a car onto a jet.
Okay. See, I feel like Die Hardest will be either nuclear, like Holocaust war, or like space satellite death.
Maybe because like 1 was like tech warfare. I think 3 is chemical warfare. This one is like, the first one was hostages and a bank heist, sort of. The second one is like terror, like
it's like hostages, drug, and like terrorism. Yeah,
military coup. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a number of different things. So, yeah,
I don't know what Live Free or Die or the last one was. What the fuck was the last one called?
Die Hard 5.
So is that Live Free or Die Hard? A Good Day to Die Hard.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I was like, that can't be it.
Yeah, I thought that. I'm like, no, that's more of a Bond movie name, right?
A Good Day to Die. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, god damn it, god fucking damn it. Also, that one has Jai Courtney in it, which is just a mixed bag when you have him in a film. He is not in a lot of good movies. I don't know if it's his fault or not. Like,
it's 100% his fault. No, it's not. It's not. It is. It's not. I don't know. I just like blaming people.
that's fair. You do that a lot.
I do. I like to blame you for all my problems.
Yep, 100%.
You're why I'm so poor.
Just kidding. Fuck off, mate. The fuck?
So, that, like, with what I kind of said throughout the last 20 minutes in mind, like how they are just different movies on different scales, but still essentially the same thing. The only real complaint I have, honestly, is John McCain's character. Like, in the second film, specifically, he is now plot armor proof. Like, he has his plot armor, or at least
got so much plot armor.
Yeah, or at least the people he's going up against just don't know how to kill.
Well, no, the problem is they know how to kill. They just can't kill him for some reason.
Mm-hmm. And then the other part I don't like is how he himself is kind of changed. Like, in the end of the first movie, it's supposed to be, yes, we're a family, we're together, I love you, nothing can really break us apart. And I was in this situation because it was an accident. Like, it's weird. He wasn't even supposed to be there originally, and that's how he managed to get away with things. In this movie, once again, he wasn't really supposed to be one of the ones solving the problems, but he was there. No. He was in the wrong place at the right time and ended up stopping a terrorist attack. But it just doesn't feel as genuine to me because they're traveling. Like, they both live in LA now, but they're for some reason meeting in Washington or Washington DC.
In-laws.
Yeah, to be with the in-laws, but she's coming from a different place because of work. And
I think she left a day later, a day or two later.
Yeah, so it just feels like they had to come up with a situation for it all to come together. And then once everything is in motion, they're like, okay, how do we keep everybody invested? Especially when it comes to the twist with the called in armed forces who are on the side of our commander Sully or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as we find out that they're all on the same side, it's like, what's really the point?
That just honestly has to be the fact. Like, it's probably a good setup and everything and pays off better if you haven't seen the movie.
Absolutely.
That is my bias is probably 100% just because I've seen this movie so many fucking times.
Like, don't get me wrong. I didn't remember that happening at first. Like, I saw them grab the special magazines and I was like, what's going on? Why is it a different? Oh yeah, because they're going to double cross them later. So they have to put on a show. Yeah, that's right. It's blanks. And
yeah,
like, I could kind of see it, but it does fit. Like, it's almost like, I would almost say, I'm not going to compare it directly to like the brilliance of Fight Club and how he's the reveal of him being the same character is well done, but I feel like it's kind of on a similar level where it's not too heavy-handed, but it's definitely not as subtle as it could be.
I agree.
So, there's that. Especially when it comes to the end part where right before they storm the church, right before the show gunfight happens, where he's like, hey, I suddenly like you. I'm going to work with you and get rid of this bureaucrat cop over here. Aha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just playing into his favor.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I think my biggest problem with this one is that planes, like engines and stuff like that, don't seem to affect people with Die Harder.
Oh yeah.
Like, sound issues aren't a thing, and I get that it's a movie, so like you want to be able to hear people, but like part of that is you've got to have a little bit of realism with that. I feel like.
I mean, I also thought that about just the end explosion in general. Like, I feel like the engines are dispersing the fuel enough to where it wouldn't travel up into the plane engine and blow it up, but that's just me.
Yeah, potentially.
I would think so.
Don't they use pumps?
Well,
It might still be pumping like actual fuel. It might be pumping fuel in because it's got to be lower to use the whole tank.
Well, I mean, what I mean by that is when we see the plane, it's already partially taking off, which means that those engines have a lot of force and thrust coming out of them to lift the plane off the ground. The fuel is being lit on fire and following the trail that is coming from the plane up through the air and then into the engine, which causes the explosion. But I feel like just the sheer force of the thrust would be enough to aerosolize the fuel to where it can't make a
100%.
trail. And
even then, the fuel would be so dispersed, just naturally falling, that I don't think the flame would go up. At least not in that sense.
I mean, I don't know jet fuel personally, but I feel like that was one of the unrealistic parts of the movie that caught me too. Like, oh, come on.
No, I agree. I agree with you on that.
Like, it's the unrealistic parts that really get me, because a lot of this movie is grounded in realism until we get to the action scenes, and then it's like, yeah, this is not realistic at all. I mean, it is, but it's plot armory. Inconvenient. But still a good movie.
Yeah, it's still a good movie. It's just got more plot armory moments.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, is what it is.
I've got really nothing else that I want to bring up myself. Maybe, like, can you remind me, only because I'm being forgetful, what happened in the first movie that gave Thornberry, whatever his name is, the reporter dude? Thornburg. Why did
he was
get a
listening to his
restraining order
police
on Holly?
radio. Because she fucking decks him at the end.
Of the first movie? For what reason?
Yeah. Because his report on what was happening is how Hans figures out that John McClane is Holly's husband.
Oh, that's right.
Because he goes and interviews their kid.
I remember.
And the kid's an idiot.
Yeah,
because
and then
it's a kid. Because kids are dumb.
And then he does it again with this, where he's just like, yeah, everything's fine except we're being held up by a hostage terrorist, and then the whole airport becomes a madhouse.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so I get you. Makes sense now. I just kind of spaced that for some reason. I don't know why. Because it was unimportant.
It is 100%. It does not change anything in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's that. Let's see. Yeah, I got nothing else, honestly, that I want to talk about specifically.
I don't think I have anything else either.
No? All right. In that case, are you able to press a button multiple times in rapid succession? Yes!
I missed a couple times.
You tried.
There was a couple like hit the side before hitting. I'm like, damn it!
Okay, at the end there, I got a nice shave and a haircut melody. Yeah. Movie news for this week. I once again don't really have too much that really caught my interest. I mean, there's a couple of things.
Well, let's make them short because I have something that I've been working on a little bit. That literally I have to I had to wait till we were done reviewing for me to finish.
Okay. So, things I want to talk about. There was a couple bits of news that we kind of talked about as we were talking, like the fact that there is supposed to be work on a Die Hard 6. There's supposed to be work on a Die Hard TV show. There's gonna be working on a Speed 3 with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. But one thing that I want to talk about is a Netflix series that is temporarily put on hold. So everyone knows of David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, right?
Yeah.
The writers that made the amazingly famous Game of Thrones and then ruined the amazingly famous Game of Thrones and then...
Wait, people still talk about that?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. They did. In the days
one
of yore.
point.
Yeah. Before winter came.
Dude, seriously.
So, yeah. But they were working on a new series called The Three Body Problem, I believe. Which is, oddly enough, remember how last week I was talking about I needed a couple of books that I wanted to read?
Yes.
I found that series called The Three Body Problem, if I'm reading this right. I can't, I found it, I bought it, and then here I am finding out that that's the one that they're supposed to be adapting for Netflix.
Yes.
However, the thing that
this whole thing gets really wacky really fast.
Yeah.
I know what story you're talking about.
Yeah, the thing I want to bring up is one of the showrunners on the Chinese side of things was recently poisoned and has been killed, and the show has been put on hold as they try to figure out who murdered the man.
Yeah.
That's, to me, wow.
Insane.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
Why? How? Yeah, it says here the show announced as a co-production with the China-based Yozu Group, but development has been placed on hold. Now, with the most tragic and mysterious of circumstances, after another of the executive producers, was allegedly murdered by one of his colleagues. Although at the moment, Chinese media has been unwilling to divulge much in the way of details. The executive Lin Qi was. I'm sorry if I mispronounce these names, but Lin Qi was hospitalized last week after reportedly being poisoned, and they arrested fellow senior board room member Zhu Yao after investigators led them to believe that he was the prime suspect. Oh,
Kind of nuts.
yeah. I can't begin to fathom why this happened, because there is absolutely no information on why it's happened, because nothing has been released on it, really. But that show has been placed on hold until, I guess, the investigation ends before they can get back on to working on the show again. So it's so strange to think, like, why? How? Who?
Odds are it's probably it was probably an executive play to try to get more power inside the company. But he got caught. Odds are it's, I want more money and more power.
Mm-hmm. Maybe if he's gone, I can assume more control, and that just doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem like something that should happen nowadays, but it did.
It's still people still want power. Like, that's the thing. People in power tend to want power more. I don't know.
What was the saying?
Power corrupts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you're close to it, some people that statement's wrong. Power shows true character. That's the true statement, in my opinion. I can't remember who said it. I remember hearing it while listening to either H Bomber Guy or Lindsay Ellis, one of their videos. But they talked about, I can't remember whose quote it was, but it was Lindsay Ellis's, one of her videos, because she was talking about how power corrupts. But the quote that she likes to use is the one, or that she used in this, was about the fact that someone who said that power shows your true character was talking about, I think, one of the presidents, where they were like, yeah, well, I'm not going to be a dick, or as much of a dick with American politics. I'm not going to get into it too much, but
Mm-hmm.
But that power shows true character.
It does. And then there was a South Park episode that kind of makes fun of that, but they used money instead of power. But it's essentially the same
What's
thing.
the difference?
Yeah. Just ask Batman and Iron Man. So, other things I'm going to talk about. So, how I was talking about books that I needed to rent and stuff, or needed to get to make it. So, turns out, last month, literally November 24th, Ready Player 2, the book, was published.
Yep.
And according to this article here on /film.com, brought to me by IMDb News, Ready Player 2 is already in the works and being adapted into a screenplay.
I've heard some takes about the book, that it does some pretty dumb shit.
All right.
We're not a book review podcast, so I'm not going to dive too much into it, but it does some of the fetishizing people who are NB or trans, stuff like that. So
okay. I was about to say, don't spoil too much, because I did get the book and I will be listening to it at some point.
Essentially, the character can only see people his only way to express talking about them was through a sexual light.
Okay. On.
A little problematic.
Yeah.
But, sure, let's make another fucking movie. Why not?
They'll censor it out and change it. I was about to say, because,
Really?
yeah, I mean, between I've been listening to Ready Player One, the book, to read out, because, I was like, why not? We'll see what happens. See how different it is. And it's pretty different. It's pretty damn different from the movie, especially when it comes to tone. Like in the movie, I didn't really get that it was a dystopian universe. Like they all just kind of existed and they lived, but they had a good time in that video game. In the book, man, do they explain how awful life is.
Yeah, that's one of the things I heard, that like they kind of missed the mark on the dystopian world.
Absolutely. I was not expecting it. I was listening to him and he's like, because they were talking about it, like just a brief comparison. In the movie, Ready Player One, he leaves his home from the stacks and just essentially walks to his van and there's no problems at all. In the book, Ready Player One, he talks about having to dodge through like different alleyways, trying not to be spotted because everyone there is poor and poverty and just in need of money or things. So there will often be muggers and rapists and like people who will sell your body to the black market, and like talking about how it's nearly impossible for people to get to school, and that when he was younger he made a video game that was a platformer based on trying to avoid killers and pedophiles and things while trying to get to school in the stacks. Yeah. So
All right.
yeah, it's a bit different. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
So yeah, there's that. So if you liked Ready Player One, which I did, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was very well, not a good movie. I thought it was a really entertaining popcorn flick.
That's better.
There we go. I feel like that's going to be another one of my new terms that I'll start using. Is it's not a good movie, but it's a good popcorn flick.
That's probably better for you, since you can't fucking stand some movies. As because
it's like
you
it's not quite,
can't consider everything cinema.
It's
There's a fine art to this. I'm Steven.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so smart. I got a degree. Yeah. Me making fun of myself.
Yeah, I'm Dev. I'm a casual. Hello.
Yeah. I almost joined the military.
That wrong podcast. We're not talking about that here.
Oh, okay, no worries.
We ain't going there today.
Oh, jeez. What's wrong? What's wrong with us? That's just kidding.
I don't know, man. That's. Do you remember where we grew up?
I've kind of blocked out that part of my life. Just kidding.
Fair.
One last thing I want to talk about, which is Wonder Woman 1984. That has been released to movies and to digital release. However, this I did not know. The digital release is only for 31 days.
Yes.
Just a month. So if
I said that last time.
You probably did, but I wasn't listening. So as a reminder to everyone who also wasn't listening, you got a month to watch that movie before it's no longer available and you have to see it in theaters.
That's why I said we need to do God damn you.
I know. Yeah, I mean, it even broke the box office high so far for the pandemic. At least in cinemas, because it says here, according to The Guardian, blockbuster Wonder Woman 1984 pulls in 16.7 million in domestic cinema opening, the highest since theaters closed in March. Opening also pulled in 36.1 million in theaters worldwide over the Christmas weekend. Sunday, distributor Warner Brothers said on Sunday as it confirmed plans for a third film in the superhero franchise.
Not surprising.
So yeah, they made money and they're like, let's go for it. Another one. This one will also be a prequel to to Justice League.
Let's not. Let's fucking not. Because I've already watched it, by the way.
Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna watch it twice. Probably was part of my plan.
So I was probably going to be watching it tomorrow, and then again before the show.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my thought process was fuck it. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna just watch it tonight, anyways. Fuck it, just so I can see the conversation. about it. I think it's going to be an interesting one for us, seeing how we tend to respond to some things. I'm going to be critical of it for different reasons, and you're going to be critical of it.
Absolutely.
Which is just how we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the last bit of news that I have here, just because I think it's interesting, Netflix has released a mockumentary called Death to 2020. It was created by the Black Mirror creator, Charlie Brooke, and it's supposed to be essentially how it sounds, just a unfunny recap of the year from hell is their satirical review of it, essentially. Well, not satirical review. That is their, like, punchline. It's supposed to be funny, but also not funny. And, like, you know, it just recaps this whole entire year from hell from an interesting standpoint.
That's a good way of putting it, because it's been a fucking year. Let's be real.
So if you're looking for something kind of interesting, I'm probably going to be watching this as well, since, you know, I have all the free time in the world right now that the holidays are basically over. So
how's work going?
Well, you know, I only work on Thursday this week.
Wow, goddamn, fucking holiday season just fucking.
Yeah, I went from working basically every day of the week, like 7-day weeks. I don't remember the last day I had off other than, like, never mind. Doesn't matter. But now it's just like I work 1 day a week. And I'm like, oh, God. Back on unemployment. Yay. So, yeah, there's that. I've got nothing else for major movie news.
Okay.
All I got now is next month's movies.
Well, we got something else first.
Oh.
Listen, I've been planning this for a little bit, okay? I'm still crunching some of the numbers, okay?
Okay.
But I wanted to surprise you
with our average year score?
With our year-to-date stuff that we've done, okay?
Man. Oh, boy.
So, I'm going to start with you because I can just ask you these things.
Should I not open the drive right now?
You can't see it.
Oh, okay.
Where I have it, okay? But what do you think is the score you've given out the most this year?
I had to guess. Seven and a half?
By 1 because of today. Before today, you had given 6. You've given 14 6s and 14 7.5s. And then today, you gave 1, and that confirmed which one it was going to be. Which, like, my heart soared. I'm like, holy shit, he broke his tie today. That is awesome.
That's silly.
How many different scores do you think you've given out throughout the year?
Oh, like, well, there are, 20 different ways we could score this thing?
Yes.
So, I'm going to guess I did not go very far. I'm going to say, 8 different scores.
Higher.
Really? Let's go 12.
1 off.
All right. Was it 11?
13.
Okay.
You've given 13 different scores. What do you think your overall, if you had to crunch the numbers and add all of them together, how many points have you given out this year?
I'm assuming it's not very high.
Because they're high. Both of our numbers are over 500.
Sorry. You mean adding all the numbers or averaging all the numbers?
Adding all the numbers.
Adding, okay. So adding all the numbers, oh Jesus.
We've seen about 103 movies.
I was about to say, yeah, we've just math. I'm gonna guess somewhere around 800.
A lot lower.
Okay, thank God. I'm not that much of a kook. 650.
A little lower.
630.
Lower.
600.
Lower.
580.
Almost.
Just tell me.
You've given out 551 0.5 points this year,
Okay.
giving you an average of the year
Probably
overall
like 6.5.
5.5.
Okay, this year sucked. It was an average year.
You gave it just above, as close to average as you could get while making it just above.
Oh.
Okay. Now my question for you involves me.
Okay.
Okay. What score do you think I've given out the most this year?
An 8.
Wow, yeah, I've given 8 12 times. Wow, all right. Fuck.
I can get some of these right.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. How many different scores do you think I've given out this year, though?
You've given quite a bit different. I think you probably have like 17. Because we didn't do any of the super low ones.
You got it right, because today I added 9.5 to my list. So yeah, no, 17 is right. Holy shit, Steven.
I know you so well, Dev.
All right.
I pay attention, see?
How many points have I given this year?
Like this whole year.
Whole year.
So
all 17 different scores, as many times as I've given them, out of 103 movies.
And you said I had like 550 some
Yes.
odd? I'm going to say this one's going to be impossible to get right. I'm going to say somewhere around like 615.
A little higher, but you are pretty close.
Okay. What is it?
686.
Okay. That's not a little higher. I just kidding.
50, in the grand scheme of possible points we could have given out, we could have given out of possible points we could have given out this year. We could have given out 1,030 points this year.
Yeah.
So, which puts my average at about 6.5 because I did round up or down depending on where the decimal was. Mine was a round down. Should I have rounded up since we only round up though?
Sure, why not?
All right, that would put me at a 7.
Okay.
Which puts my average at 7s. Your average score you give movies is 5.5. If I was solely going off of that, that would mean that our movie score average is a 6.5. But currently, I am crunching the numbers for our year. It's a little tough to do that because I've got to like pinpoint which ones I haven't added yet into the equation I have going. There's a lot of fucking scores, man.
It's
the only I realized I forgot to do this. Like, I forgot to do our year to date before today. And so I'm scrambling to finish this. So if you want to explain next month real quick while I finish this, absolutely. I'm cool with that.
I'll do that.
Oh, well, we should also talk about Jay's real quick. Jay gave out a 2 different scores. Do you remember what they were?
No.
They were for Golden Compass and for Aragon.
Well, I believe Aragon was like a 2.5 or something.
Yes.
And Golden Compass, he said he didn't watch all the way through, so I think that was like a 6.
3.
3, okay.
Which puts his average at a 3 for the year. Really easy to add him up.
Wow.
Which puts our guest total at
a 3.
A 3.
Wow, what a shitty year for guests. Man, they just really hated this year.
We had fucking 1 all year because things did not go to plan. We probably would have had guests more if because people would have gone to movies and stuff like that. But man, this year just did not go to that plan.
This year sucked.
Yeah, man.
My 5.5. That's don't get me wrong. I say 5 is an average movie, but that's not good for movies. It really should be higher than a 5. Really should.
Well, also you've picked some shit movies this year on purpose.
Have.
And we didn't have a lot of movies come out where we could have had that just saw kind of rose tinted glasses, which happens sometimes.
Yeah, I liked our schedule before the pandemic hit. It would have been great.
We had a great schedule planned for the year. We had pretty much the entire year planned out, but I don't think we would have come up with our months like we do now.
That's probably.
I don't think we would have had as themed months as we do now.
So speaking of next month,
Yes.
all right.
Hit us with that while I do this, while I finish up our scores.
So next month, because I was hit by inspiration, I kind of designed it like a magic card, if you couldn't tell.
Ooh.
And it's called Adaptations, where we will be adapting, or we will be watching people's adaptations of certain things. The first week, next week, we're going to start getting into comic book adaptations with The New Mutants and Wonder Woman 1984.
Holy shit, we finally get to fucking watch New Mutants. This has been on the docket since it was supposed to come out. We have been planning to see this movie. Every time it's gotten fucking pushed back. And it came out during the fucking pandemic. Of all fucking times.
Yeah, they're like, we're giving up on this. We're just gonna throw it out now.
God damn it, dude.
Then the week after that, we start getting into some interesting places with TV to film adaptations, where we are doing South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, and The Simpsons movies.
I don't also watch either of those.
Same. But I feel like they'll probably work well with each other, especially being long-running TV shows that people love and then adapted into movie form. I had a lot of different ideas for that one. I almost went with like 21 and 22 Jump Street, because 21 Jump Street is an adaptation from an old TV show.
Yeah, and the other one's the sequel to it.
Yep. And I almost did A-Team. So I was like, that seems kind of cool, the 2010 remake.
Oh, God, I haven't watched that in a while either.
Right? I was like, these all seem like decent ideas. But then I was like, nah, never mind. Let's just do this, because I mentioned it once on the show. So we'll get it out of the way. The week after that, we are doing musicals, like musical to film adaptation. But this one is mainly just, I'm stretching it a little bit here. by doing Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Because
is this book/musical adaptation? Because isn't Charlie and the Chocolate Factory a book?
I think so. But
man,
but they sing in this movie, and in both these movies they sing. So,
God damn it! I haven't watched fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in fucking forever.
See, the problem I had with this one is I tried to, like, we had talked about trying to keep it to things that we would both enjoy. Like, and I tried really hard to not pick just like a romance musical. And there is a lot of romance musicals.
Well, you didn't have to pick one I would enjoy. I was going to say, just pick what you want to pick.
There were, like, I debated a lot. Like Les Mis and La La Land, or like Moana and something else. Like, there was a lot of options out there. But ultimately I decided to go with these, because we can compare and contrast them, because we haven't done that in a while. Compare and contrast.
No, we haven't.
An original and a remake of a remake. So yeah, there's that. And then the last week, because fuck it, why not?
Hey, listen, man, I wanted to have some fun.
So yeah, we're
a little anime.
We're ending it with anime movies, with Dragon Ball Z
that are actually animated.
Yeah, and not live action anime. Awful.
There's not a lot of good ones of those that we've watched.
Have we watched any good ones? But yeah, we're watching Dragon Ball Z, Legendary Super Saiyan, and then
Legendary Super Saiyan,
and then Dragon Ball Super Brawly.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't write any of this down, and it's too small for me to see. So this was all off the top of my head, and I'm glad I remembered.
Wow, you got all of it right. That's pretty good for you.
Right? I actually tried to focus and remember and be a good host this time.
Good job. I'm proud of you, buddy. You're doing better.
Yay!
Took you 2.5 years. Almost 3 years.
Okay, next week I'll forget.
Oh, no, 2.5, because you took over about halfway through the first year. Because I used to host it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, let's start the other show. You're hosting now.
Thank God.
Exactly how that went. I mean, it was always kind of planned that Steven would take over hosting. It was just, at the time, it was convenient for me to do it. I think you took over after my move, honestly.
I think so, yeah. Or while you were packing up everything, so.
Yeah.
So that's next month. Adaptations.
I am almost done crunching the numbers.
Oh, man, that's a really slow calculator.
Listen, there's a lot to fucking make sure I have done on
Gotta
here.
get that hamster in your brain going faster, man.
There are a lot of fucking numbers, dude. I'm like kind of graying out or highlighting out the ones that I've done so I don't accidentally redo them. Because it's really easy to accidentally be like, oh, did I do that yet? And like not see that I have it on my list already of numbers that I've already added up.
Hi, Sporty Bunny. Do you mean loudest as in like his volume is physically the loudest, or as in he just never stops talking? When it comes to Dev being both question mark. You know, it's kind of funny because I adjusted your volume today to make you slightly louder.
Yeah? Well, I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's on you. It can't be on me now.
Yep. Well, damn.
I don't have control of that.
Nope. Not at all.
I'm almost done. I swears it. I think I have 1, 2.
There, I turned him down. Are you happy? Oh, voice crack. I turned his volume down. Are you happy? Yeah.
2 of those plus.
So Dev is a pretty good scream queen there, Sporty Bunny.
I could try out for a role at some point.
Absolutely. You just have to be okay with appearing on screen topless.
I got the moves for it.
All right, perfect. So I'm pretty sure that was the requirement of all scream queens.
All right, I need to add 1 number in. All right, so our grand total of points that we've given out, Steven, what do you think it is?
Between the two of us together?
It's in between. And so it's our average score of movie added all together.
Sorry, am I trying to guess like the 1,000 number, or am I trying to guess between 1 and 10?
Yeah, out of the 1,000.
Okay. So, rapid mathing in my head. 15,064. 1,564 point. I don't know.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Where are you getting that from?
I don't know, Dev. I really don't.
I was asking for as many, like, what points how many points we've given out this year. Like, overall, like, grand total of points. It's in between your points and my points. So you gave out 500.
Okay, you mean
51.5.
Okay,
yeah,
you're averaging our 2 points. Okay, sorry.
Well, no,
I thought you were
just
just adding them together, because if you just add my 500 and your 800 or whatever, and it was
no. I'm saying our average scores for movies. So what our score for each movie, those added up over the year, which means it has to be in between us.
You mean on average between 1 and 10?
What the movie was rated.
Okay.
That score added up. So like our scores put together, averaged out, counting for rounding up.
Terminology
like
got me confused there.
Fair.
I
gave out 686, you gave out 551.5.
Let's do 618.
That is 3.5 off. God damn, dude, that's actually you nailed some of these really well. We did a 621.5 points.
That makes things
overall.
confusing. Yes, he does sometimes.
Thinks what?
Sporty Bunny says you make things confusing sometimes.
Not intentionally. It's why I say I'm bad at explaining things.
It's kind of like the argument we had just before we started.
Yes. All right, Steven. What is our most likely score for a movie?
Most likely, it will be a 7.
You're close. Well, kind of close.
8?
It's an 8. We gave out 16 8s this year.
Okay.
7s, we only gave out 7 of those, but like I guess on a point you were close, but not quite.
Mm-hmm.
I guess is the best way to put that. How many different scores did we give out this year?
11.
Okay, let me just finish this real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 scores that we've given out throughout the year.
All right.
We only gave out 3 10s. I will say that. All the 10s were because of me.
Yeah. I think I hit 9 once.
You hit 9 quite a few times, actually. You hit you gave out more 9s than I. Yeah, you gave out more 9.5s than I gave. You gave out 3 9.5s and 3 9s. I gave out 7 9s and 1 9.5.
Okay.
So we're not too far off from each other. I only gave 8 more, like 8. You gave out 6 of those two combined. But I gave out 10s 7 times this year.
10s across the board.
Listen, I like a lot of movies.
Yeah, we do half points as well, Sporty Bunny. So that's how there's so many different possible. Yeah, there's no way there's 20 numbers between 10. Duh. Yes, there's when you're us.
All right. So I guess it's time to find the average. Which, by the way, thank you guys. You made it easy for me because now I just have to hit divide by 16. Oh wait, no, it's divide by 103. Sorry, 103 movies. Sorry, I fucked that up for a second. Steven, what do you think our average score for movies over the year is?
7.5. I don't know.
No, that's higher than both of us put together. That can't be it.
Is it 6?
Exactly. It is almost exactly a 6. It's a 6.03, which means that number goes down. I will not round that one up.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes down, puts us at a dead 6 overall, which breaks our rule of rounding up.
It's okay. It's
if we average our two
yeah.
scores together. So our average this year is between a 6 to a 6.5.
We don't do quarter points.
We don't. So overall, this year's scores, average score we would give out is a 6 for movies.
So yeah, if you're recommending this podcast to somebody else, tell them to kind of avoid this whole year because it's kind of a meh year.
No,
movie.
it's entertaining to listen to, just kind of meh scores, depending. Listen, depending on who you're listening to, because I obviously liked a lot more this year, but also I had the widest berth of scores.
Oh yeah,
because I went all the way from 10 down to 1.
Mm-hmm. And
the lowest score you
9,
gave, I think, was a 2. Was the lowest you gave this year? Yeah, the lowest you went is a 2, and you only did that twice this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, kind of a, you know, it kind of shows that like we do have very different ways of rating movies. Mm-hmm. I am definitely more. I will hit the spectrum a little bit more than you, but you definitely have the harder to hit the depths with.
Yeah,
I'm more volatile.
Can you give us which one were our worst movies of the year?
Worst movies of the year. Oh, that's pretty easy. I just have to go over here real quick. I know what the worst movie of the year was. Because it is the one that got the lowest score from all of us, including Jay.
Well, gee, I wonder which one that was.
It was fucking Aragon.
Yeah.
Only reason it's at a 2 is because you gave it a fucking 3, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you had given it like any lower, we could have gotten that down.
That's even lower than I was going to give it originally.
I can't believe you like on like some semblance of level. The next 2 movies that were just slightly above it, and there's only 2 movies that like and Star Wars Holiday Special got a 2, but we I
mean Transformers got
I'm
a
trying
3.
to fucking. Yeah, but the 2 movies that got the closest score to that was Halloween 2, 2009, and Dragon Ball Evolution both got 2.5s.
Mm-hmm.
So like again, not the lowest score we given over a year. Death Note definitely I still think retains that. I think it was at a 1.5 overall because of you.
Yeah, because I wouldn't let you give it a 0.
Oh, which is fair. I'll give you that. The movie,
we can't average by 0. It just doesn't work. You can't divide by 0. I mean, you can't.
You can have the average between 0 and
I know.
DBZE or DBE is not a -7, Bunny. Because there are things that are somewhat enjoyable in it. It's not a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It deserved me giving it a 1.5. But if I had to choose to watch Death Note or that again, 100% easy choice. I'm watching Dragon Ball Evolution because at least it's dumb fun. It can be stupid fun.
Well, then why did you do a fundraiser about Drunk Death Note?
Because I figured people would want to see that. And guess what? I need to figure out when I'm going to do that fucking movie night. God forbid. God. And that means I might have to see it a third time if we do what we've had planned.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Which sucks.
Okay, we'll watch the movies I hate too.
Yay!
It's only fair.
Fair. But that rounds out 2020 on this show.
We only missed 2 weeks.
We seriously only missed 2 weeks and still came out with more movies than if we did 2 a week. We only would have been at, if we had those 2 weeks, we only would have been at 108. So we had 103 movies this entire year. So still good. That's still more than 2 a week, like we had planned. So
isn't 2 a week 104? No, I'm going crazy.
No, 102. 102. No, you're right. Oh yeah, you're right. 52 times 2. That's 104. We're one short of 2 a week. That's still not bad for missing 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And having 3 weeks of one movie. Plus a week of no movies where we just talked about Star Wars.
I missed that day. That was fun.
That was a good day. So the only movies we missed this year were when we were going to do Pacific Rims and 3 of the Terminators. So we'll figure out sometime to do those again.
Scary movie, or we missed giant robots and scary robots.
Yeah.
I mean,
those weren't scary robots. You decided to do fucking goddamn Kill Command and I Am Mother for the fucking scary movies.
Kill Command was awful. I liked I Am Mother.
I didn't.
I know you didn't.
Still gave it a 6.5 somehow.
Still an okay movie.
It was above average. At best.
I got nothing else news related to you.
No, I'm good news wise.
All right.
I'm really looking forward to the next year because we're going to start getting some new movies that we can review. So what was the best movie of the year? We got several bests. 1917, which feels like an eon ago. But that
wasn't like 100 years ago.
No, dude, but it was like the second week of January that we watched that. Fucking feels like it. Fellowship of the Ring got a 10, and Fight Club got a 10. So those are our 3 best rated movies. A couple other movies got 9.5s, which would be Two Towers and Return of the King got 9.5s. Still think those should be 10s. Big Hero 6 got a 9.5. And I think that's the only other one that did. Yeah. So there is that. I still think you underrated Two Towers and Return of the King. I think they should have been 9.5s from you at the least. I know we aren't going to go back and fix it, but that is where I stand on this.
See, look, someone else never even really enjoyed them.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I just think you're too hard on the sequels.
I'm back.
Shut up. That was last week. Oh man. All right. Wow. God, the end of 2020 for us.
Yeah, we made it.
We
survived the year
despite everything. Yeah. Holy shit! Like weird retrospective because like the year went to fucking like ups a daisy from our plan mid-March when everything went up. Yeah, because the last movie went to theaters to see was Invisible Man, which was the first week of March.
Remember showing memes that are like, what are the Oscars going to be like for this year? And it was all of the worst movies.
Listen, Invisible Man came out this year. It could have won.
It did. You think Sonic the Hedgehog is in the run?
Why not? It's probably best superhero movie.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, God.
Well, okay, by the way, since next week is the first time we're seeing superhero movies, what was the last superhero movie we watched offhand? Do you remember?
Green Hornet? I don't know.
Well, okay, the last in theaters.
Oh,
I guess. last new superhero movie we watched. I'll preface with that.
Endgame, wasn't it?
No, you're thinking too far back because at least Far From Home came out after that, and we saw that.
Oh, Dark Phoenix.
Well, that was.
I don't know. I really can't name it off the top
Birds
of
of
my
Prey
head.
and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
I literally watched that just the other day.
That came out this year. Fucking hell. That was the last superhero movie we saw in theaters. That was new. Last new superhero movie we watched. So this fucking next week is the first 2 superhero movies that are new that we get a fucking review. I know this sounds dumb, but I'm actually really excited to review new superhero stuff.
I know you are. It's your bread and butter.
It is my bread and butter. I get to fucking talk about stuff I know, genuinely know. So we haven't had movies that we've gotten to do that in a while with. So I'm genuinely kind of happy about this. So,
yeah, we're starting the year with your favorite genre of movie, comic book action.
Listen, it's been a bit, all right? Whether or not these 2 movies are going to hold up, we'll see. But I look forward to reviewing them because it's been a bit.
Mm-hmm. Been a while.
It has. I'm looking forward to this month. Because another one that we didn't get a review when it came out was Broly. I went to see that in theaters. It was a weekend that I went to see 3 movies. So I think it was the same weekend as 2 other movies that we went and reviewed.
Okay.
So I was in the theater a lot that week.
I didn't realize Broly went to theaters.
Yeah, I went to American theaters with the Funimation dub, which Chris Sabat, the voice actor for Vegeta, Yamcha, Piccolo, he was the producer or director for it.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean he gets what the fans want, so he did it. No, we're doing Legendary Super Saiyan is the bad one. We're doing Dragon Ball Super Broly, which is fucking phenomenal, and I can't wait to talk about the animation of that. Yeah, we're doing both of them. But I can't wait to talk about the animation on both of these. It's gonna be fun because we haven't actually done animation for a while.
Yeah, that was something because I saw a sneak. I was watching Death Battle. They did Broly recently, and I was watching some of the segments that they had, and I was like, "Damn, that's some good fight animation. Maybe I should watch Dragon Ball Z Super or Dragon Ball Super."
Dragon Ball Super doesn't have a ton of that animation in it, but the best fights are by that animator.
Okay.
So like some of the Ultra Instinct fights and stuff like that from Super are his animation. Oh no, we're not doing a real life one. No, fuck no. I decided this time if we're gonna do Dragon Ball, if we're gonna do anime adaptations for movies, I decided that we might as well just fucking dive in to do some animated movies because fuck it, we haven't done it yet.
I mean, it could go with the anime podcast, but whatever.
We don't have that.
Yeah, anytime I mentioned anime movies in the past, you're like, "Oh, we want to do it on the anime podcast." But when you mention an anime movie,
listen, I'm open to doing the movies.
Given GT is better than live action.
I've never thought of that, but it's not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I kind of hate it.
Wasn't the GT when they introduced Super Saiyan 4? Super Hairy Saiyan?
Hey, Super Saiyan 4 is actually kind of cool. Design-wise. It's very unique. It's probably out of all the Dragon Ball, Super Saiyan forms, I think it's the one that, besides Super Saiyan, I think it's the most noticeable.
I mean, yeah, Super Saiyan 2 barely exists. Super Saiyan 3, they get really long hair.
Honestly, you want to know how bad Super Saiyan 2 gets served? Is that Hideo Kojima forgot it exists when he was animated for Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. So when Goku transforms, he thought Super Saiyan 3 was Super Saiyan 2 because he forgot Super Saiyan 2 exists. Because of the fact that Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 2, all it is the bang down.
Yeah, the one bang
That's
down.
Your tell. Yeah. So right now I'm in Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah. And then Super Saiyan 3 is really long hair that goes down to your ass.
And no eyebrows.
Yeah. And then Super Saiyan 4, you're half monkey.
Well, it's supposed to be a callback to the Great Ape.
Yeah.
Which I think is really great in my opinion. It's also why when we get into it, I can't wait to talk about Broly because there's some stuff that kind of they do some great stuff. I can't wait to talk about it.
And then I'm trying to remember. There is no Super Saiyan 5. Then it goes to Super Saiyan God.
There's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue. There's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Unlocked, which is Vegeta's like bluer form.
I was about to say Vegeta's the strongest one in the universe right now, right?
In a way, depends if Goku uses Ultra Instinct or not. By strength, I think in Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan form, I think Vegeta's stronger, but because Ultra Instinct is what it is, it's a form, but it's not a form, if that makes sense. It's more
It's
of
like
a state of
Kaioken.
being. Yeah, but it's a state of being. It's not like Kaioken where it's like a technique. It's more of a just your mind and body are purely based off of instinct.
It's the Force.
Kind of. Yeah. Which means even if like Master Roshi can kind of do it and win fights. Not for a super long time, but it puts Roshi on like a higher level.
Let's say Master Roshi's Master Roshi.
Yeah, no, and he knows how to do it. Like not for a long extended period of time, but like he can do it for like seconds at a time, which is why he's able to compete against like Frieza soldiers in Resurrection F.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are way out of Roshi's league, but Roshi can kick their fucking ass because he's a very experienced fighter. So it's essentially like any martial artist, like the state of Zen. It's total enlightenment for martial artists is what Ultra Instinct leans into. So if Goku goes into that, he's technically quote unquote stronger, but not by power level.
Mm-hmm.
Not that power levels matter. Power levels are bullshit.
Yeah. So let's say you have to make
because,
that
like,
DBZA quote.
When we get into it, man, I will explain a lot during Broly. All right.
All right.
This month is the bread and butter of Dev.
One of these weeks, I'm going to make us do the 2 Yu-Gi-Oh movies.
Dude, I'm fucking down. Don't they have like one with the god cards and everything and stuff like that, and then one where like Yugi doesn't have the thing?
So the ones I was thinking of was where they, I think they had a Yu-Gi-Oh movie that they released to theaters. Not that like when we were in middle school. I can't remember what it's about though. And then they had a new, fairly recent Yu-Gi-Oh movie, probably within the last couple of years, that did the 5Ds, Duelist Academy, and regular Yu-Gi-Oh. They were all going up against a time traveler dude. It's hard to explain.
All right, I'm interested.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I ended up actually going through and watching, I finished it today, all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. I started it last week and I just went through it all this whole week.
Is it worth checking out if you're a Yu-Gi fan?
Yes, actually.
All right.
It gets better. I was trying to come up with a decent number. Like I was trying to think, when's a good episode to just tell somebody, hop in at this time? And after watching the whole fucking series, just watch the whole series.
That's how those shows go.
Yeah, the beginning is rough, but then when they do the callbacks to beginning later on, it's perfect. It just makes sense. So, but if you really don't want to watch the whole show, you could probably start at like episode 35 or something. That's a recap episode. That's kind of funny.
There.
Yeah.
Fair. All right. Well, I guess that kind of closes out our year.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Thank you for sticking through us through a tough year. I know, like the last year we did like nothing but like new movies, pretty much, because like we were at the theaters almost every single week.
Absolutely. Don't get too
which
sappy.
was fun.
You have to have a sappy speech tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I've got 2 planned.
Okay.
No, I just thank you for sticking with us through this. We finally started to go audio, and the fucking support over there has been nuts. So if you're an audio listener, this is for you. Thank you. Fucking thank you. Because I mean, I'm genuinely happy with that. So thank you for checking us out that way. Because it's been an adjustment for us, trying to make sure that everything goes to plan with it. I mean, we're not perfect at it, but like
We're
you
getting
guys
there.
have. We're getting good. We're getting better. So thank you. Like it's just genuinely, I appreciate that you guys have taken the time to find us. No matter where you watch, listen, or hang out with us. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I was waiting for you to say, and with that.
Yeah, no. I have to say thank you too, being that this is my show after all. So yeah, thanks guys. You've been awesome. I appreciate you. And even how all the awful picks that I make. So yeah, and with that, we're out of here. So once again, thank you everybody for being here. You're great. You're awesome. We appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, bells, notifications. Yeah, you're awesome. And we'll see you next year. Yeah, it's going to be a whole year. I'm just kidding. We'll see you next year with the New Mutants, finally, and Wonder Woman 1984. But until then, bye, everybody.
See you next year.
Anything clever to... Oh,
I don't know, man. It's been a whole fucking year. I've been doing it almost every fucking week. Give me a break.
fine.
Bye.